What's up, everybody? Rob Live. Jim, how we doing?
We're doing pretty good, man. New studio, new look, second time around. I love it.
Man, I get nervous in these new places, right? Not because of being on camera or anything like that, but because I am helpless with the buttons. So if Jim doesn't figure out the buttons, we're just stuck.
Yeah, we're screwed.
Right? But we're here. Hey, we're on camera. Great job, Jim.
Yeah.
So I want to once again thank CMAC. This is our second time in this studio. This is a nonprofit venture. It's a great opportunity. If you're out there and you're thinking about putting a podcast together or maybe putting some content together and you want some editing equipment, you want some use of cameras, et cetera, CMAC is a great place to do that. We'll put the link in the description so that you guys can take advantage of this place right here in the beautiful downtown area of Fresno if you live in the Central Valley. Everyone else out there, thank you for subscribing. Like and subscribe if you enjoy what we're doing. We appreciate you no matter where you are in the world. Shout out to Georgia, the country, right? And Georgia, the state, if we have anyone from the state, because I know we have some people from Georgia.
You got to always plug those countries.
Got to plug those countries. Yeah. Ireland, right?
Yeah.
And of course, right here in the United States of America. So thank you guys for being here today. Today, we are going to continue our leadership series. You might have seen a pattern lately. We're bringing in some leaders. Today's leader is close to my heart because when I first started social media, she was one of my big advocates for all the things I was doing. Mrs. Debbie Miro. Thank you for all those years of support.
Sure.
So do you recall the first time we met? Because it was on social media. Do you remember it all?
I remember that you were doing something that I was supportive of, but I don't remember exactly what it was.
Reestablishing Stratford.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because your heart's in Stratford, right? You have family and friends who've lived there for years.
And I'd seen the stuff you had done in London, too.
Oh, you saw we're going back to London days.
Yeah, so I thought, oh, my gosh. Now
well, back there.
Trying to do some local stuff.
So when I first recognized you was, and by the way, quick little, what do you call those when you're informing somebody on something like don't do drugs or PSA?
Yeah, PSA.
What does it stand for?
Yeah, public service announcement.
This is a public service announcement from RobLive. If you are present on social media, please allow the people who are posting to be aware of your presence so they can recognize you and interact with you. Do not be like that picture. I wish we could put the picture up. Where's a cat who's hiding behind a pole, right? Never liking anything, just kind of lurking in the background, right? And the reason I say that is because we love the feedback, we love the interaction, and so if we don't know you're there, right, then we can't really interact with you or even get your feedback. But the way you let us know you're there is by like, subscribe, and comment. So thank you very much, PSA from RobLive. Back to Debbie Miro. So Lemoore is your hometown. You were born and raised there.
Yes.
Do you remember early Lemoore days when they had the Blockbuster and I heard there was some arcades.
There was a movie theater even.
Where was that at?
The movie theater is across from, I think it's still called Mickey's.
There's
a church
there was a
in
movie
that building now.
That was a movie theater. Wow, that was the first.
Yeah, that's where I saw the Beach Blanket Bingo movies
and
the Beatle movies. And
wow.
It cost like 50 cents to go.
So were you born in the Central Valley?
In Lemoore.
So Lemoore, you were born in. Do we have a hospital? How did this all work?
Oh, well, I was born in Hanford.
Born in Hanford.
Where the hospital was.
Hospital.
My mom was born in Stratford in her grandmother's home.
Oh, my God. Shout out to Stratford, California. Because the
hospital was all the way in Hanford.
Yes. For those who don't know Stratford, look it up on the map. You'll see it. And so you're born and raised in Lemoore. Go to Lemoore Elementary. Was that
No, I went to Mary Immaculate Queen School, the Catholic
yes,
school.
MIQ.
Mm-hmm.
Still there today. Shout out to MIQ. And after MIQ, which only goes to 8th grade, you go into Lemoore High School.
Yeah.
How were you as a student? Were you the class clown? Were you the quiet student? Were you the studious?
I was the quiet one. And
Shy?
We only had about 20, 25 kids in our classes. And
so everybody
really
knew
small.
everyone.
Yes.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. If you go to MIQ, you guys go to mass. Is that once a week or once daily? How does mass work?
No, we had religion taught as a subject.
Okay.
But did we go to mass?
So you were raised Catholic?
I don't think we went to mass, yeah.
And your church was St. Peter's?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now,
Small St. Peter's.
Before the new one.
Yeah.
Yeah, the new and improved. Lemoore's done a lot of great growth. So after 8th grade, you got to go into this big high school with all these other students.
And I was so excited because I always wanted to be a public school kid because they had dances and they had all kinds of fun things that
So you were a private school
that the
kid?
nuns were telling us.
Oh, yeah. The nuns were your teachers?
We had
Okay.
had nuns at the time from Ireland. And
From Ireland? Did they have the accent? And did you ever make them like, can you say Lucky Charms? You know what I'm talking about, Jim? Okay. Sorry, Ireland.
So I always wanted to be like the public school kids because I always thought they had way more fun and stuff. And honestly, I was telling my friends the other day, we're having a 50th class reunion coming up.
Class of
75.
Class of 75.
No more high school.
Congratulations.
And so we were having a meeting, and I was telling them that one of my recurring nightmares, because I wanted to go to public school so badly, and I couldn't wait to go to high school. One of my recurring nightmares is that, so the 8th grade classroom was just at the entrance of the school. And my recurring nightmare is that everybody goes outside and gets right there on that walkway and goes off to high school, and one of the nuns comes up to me and tells me I can't go. And I've had that nightmare ever since
So you
I was in high school.
So there was a consistent thing that you didn't feel like you were part of the.
I don't know why.
Did she
I
give a
had that
reason,
dream.
or she was just like, "You're not going"?
She just told me I couldn't go.
Oh my! I thought, you know what nightmare I thought
Because
you were
then
going to say?
because I hate it so bad that then I wake up.
Here's
Yeah.
the one that I think most of us have. I don't know. Have you ever had the underwear nightmare?
Yeah,
Where you
and your
go-
teeth fall out.
Well, you show up to school, right? Or you're in a public place and you look down and it's just you and the chonies. You haven't had that one?
No.
What?
No.
You've had the underwear
Oh
nightmare.
yeah, that one, and that my teeth fall out.
Yeah. Well, they say
Just
that one.
randomly they all start falling out, and that I have one that I'm lost all the time. But that one
Recurring
I have all
themes.
the time.
Yeah, the underwear
That
one.
thing.
Falling.
will not-
I had a dream of falling in front of people, and I did. I was holding a tray in elementary school, and I fell and tripped and lost all my food. But I had that dream. It was like that conscious fear
Oh.
of falling.
Wait,
But-
so the dream came before the fall?
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
But yeah.
My mom had a dream book. Shout out to Gloria Racy. She had a dream book, and it would tell you all these different scenarios and what they meant. So she scared the hell out of us because all of them meant dying.
Or falling. You ever had a dream of falling?
Yeah, and if you don't wake up,
Yeah.
right? Heard the teeth falling out is the one I heard. It was a premonition of
Never
death.
heard of that.
Yeah.
I have that one a lot.
So I thought I was dying all the time with that dream book. I was like, Mom, is there any like win a lottery outcome from this dream? Right now. Okay, so you get to high school. Was it everything you thought it was going to be?
It was intimidating because I was a really quiet, shy kid,
And it was a lot more
and I
people.
didn't get involved in a lot of things. I was very athletic, so I played, your 6th, 7th, 8th grade sports.
Yeah.
Everything that I could. And then I got to high school and I was too afraid to get involved.
Oh, man.
And I didn't join clubs.
Where
And
do you think that fear stems from? Was there something happen early on in school that kind of,
No, I think it was just we didn't have a lot growing up.
yeah.
And so I kind of felt different a little bit. And, my mom made my clothes.
Oh, wow. Okay.
All of our food came out of cans. Like I didn't like vegetables until I had a fresh one when I was going to college.
Oh, wow.
And went, wow, green beans are actually pretty good when they're not coming out of a can.
So now I want to apologize because there always is this assumption, right, Jim, that if you go to a private school, because there's a tuition, typically it's because you're well off,
Yeah.
right? But that's not always the case.
No, they had scholarships and stuff. And I didn't go there on a scholarship, but my parents just worked really hard for me and my brother to be able to go there.
So you have a brother,
I have a brother.
and he's older, younger?
Younger.
Now, was he in school when you were in school, or is it age gap?
He's 4 years. Well, he was 3 years behind me, and then he stayed back a grade. So
For high
he's
school,
4
it's
years
just
behind
it's
me.
just Debbie
yeah.
on your own, and you're just trying to navigate things. You don't get involved. At what point do you start to say, okay, I'm just gonna put myself out there?
No, I didn't.
All 4 years, just under the radar.
I didn't.
Academically, how were
I
you?
think if I loved basketball, and they didn't have girls basketball until a year after I left high school.
Oh,
But I think if they'd have had basketball when I was there, I think I would have sucked it up and played basketball.
what about the school dances, the prom? Football games. Did you get
I won't
involved?
tell that story, but I went to the prom one time and my date didn't behave himself, and so we got sent home about 15 minutes after.
Oh
we went,
my! So you were at the prom for 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Now, do you see this guy at the reunions?
No.
Like, John, I told
No,
you.
he was a year ahead of me.
Oh, okay.
But I would go to the school dances.
Okay, good. So you got some.
And we used to have
connection
them
there.
every Friday after football games. And
Yeah, that's what
we had
did.
them a lot.
Is that what you guys did, Jim? The Friday night dances right after the football games?
Yeah, and now being
doesn't happen
I was an
anymore, right?
activity director, and the funny thing about that is I'm like, how did we pull that off? Like in high school in my time, because I'm thinking, what did we do that? Because you don't know when the game's going to end, and you
Yeah.
hire a DJ to play for 2 hours.
Oh, you're thinking logistics.
Yeah, so I'm trying to think, how did we factor in getting the kids? Like there was one time a coach, and I'm going wayside on this, but our coaches were saying they hated it because their fans, the student section, would want to go to the dance before the game's over, and they're like, we don't have anybody to support us, So they stopped us, and they had to gate everybody in.
It's hard to compete.
It is.
Right, because it's like, all right, Rosie football, Belle Biv DeVoe. Which one am I going to? I'm going Poison. Never trust a big button to smile. I'm going to go dance.
Yeah, I'm going.
Okay, so getting to the high school years, did you formulate your core group of friends then, or were they your friends from elementary school?
A couple of them. I was a tracked kid, so I was put in English math classes for kids who were not going to go to college, even though I never told anyone I wasn't going to go to college, but
That was
that's
the
just
assumption.
where my counselor was putting me. And so a lot of people that ended up being my friends after high school
Yeah.
were kids that went to college, and so they weren't the same people that I hung around with in high school. I have probably one friend
They used
from high school that I hung around with in high school.
Are you guys still friends now? Mm-hmm. Oh, that's
Yeah,
awesome.
she lives out of state, but
So she got to see the whole progression
Yeah.
of Debbie.
yeah. So it was at a class reunion, actually, probably the 20th, 25th class reunion, maybe.
Yeah.
Where I just happened to sit at a table with some people that I went to high school with, but they were college-bound kids, and we just became friends. And now, honestly, we travel
What?
out of state together once or
Wow.
twice a year, and we're really close. And we Zoom with each other. We started Zooming during COVID
Yeah.
just to keep each other's sanity, and then we just have kept doing it. So every Friday, we
Every
Zoom
Friday?
together. Hmm.
That is awesome.
But they weren't my friend. I didn't hang around with them in high school.
Do you guys ever talk about that? Like,
Mm-hmm.
I thought in high school you were really quiet, but you have a lot to
Yeah.
offer.
Well, but their experiences are way different than mine.
Yeah.
In high school, and so they talk about, hey, remember this teacher? And I don't know who they're talking about.
You're like,
I'm
Wow. So clearly at some point the path changes. So you graduate from high school. What's the plan then?
So no one in my family had gone to college except for my mom went for 2 weeks. And during that time, you go to college to find a husband if you're
Wow.
female.
This is the 70s.
Well, yeah.
So you were class
Mid-70s.
75, so it's like
Yeah.
76, 77.
Yeah.
So you get out of high school, and now the college years are coming. You don't have a plan, I'm assuming, or you had some sort of plan?
Well, my parents always had an expectation that I would go to college. And so they just always talked about when you go to college.
And so that was the mindset.
And I was a good kid and followed what my parents wanted me to do. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to college. So I went to COS.
College of the Sequoias.
Mm-hmm. So I went there for 2 years. Parents couldn't afford to give me very much money, so I worked full-time at Mervyn's, 40 hours a week.
Mervyn's. Remember Mervyn's, Jim?
Good old department store.
Shout out to Visalia, right? Sequoia Mall. Mervyn's Le Tigre. I used to get my Le Tigre and my 501 jeans.
Miller's Outpost.
Miller's Outpost of Town.
Yeah.
Wow. So you have Mervyn's.
Yeah. So I worked there, and then I transferred to Fresno State. And I was lucky enough to transfer my Mervyn's job there, too, where I worked 40 hours.
Oh, because the
And
Fashion
went to
Fair
school.
Mall, right? Or
No, it was on
Manchester Mall?
it was on Blackstone.
That's right. It was a standalone Mervyn's.
It was a standalone.
Wow. viewers who've never experienced Mervin's, picture Kohl's, right? But then
very
older
similar.
version of Kohl's with cool 80s stuff. Right, that was
Yeah,
Mervin's.
and there wasn't a lot of department stores around at the time, so everybody went to Mervin's.
Okay, so you just inspired something. Jim, check this out. We're not going to seek sponsorship from current brands, right? Le Tigre, if you're out there, me and Jim will wear your polos on every, right?
We'll sport it. Yeah, I'm like
Members only and Le Tigre.
Anchor Blue.
Where
Anchor
you-
Blue.
Where are you at? We're going to take that on. Anchor
be
Blue,
nice.
dang.
Yeah.
Okay, so Debbie, you're at Mervin's. You're juggling school. What's your major?
Communicative disorders. So,
Which is like speech
speech pathology.
pathology. Okay, and why'd you choose that?
I knew I wanted to work with kids, but I knew I would be terrified of a classroom of 32, 36 kids looking at me and expecting me to be in charge.
Yeah, she said 36. You know why she said 36? Because she was a
Back in the day.
superintendent of schools, and she knows how this works.
Well, back in the day, there were 36,
Yeah, it was 36.
kids. Yeah.
PE still to this day, right?
Oh, yeah. Well, they have more. They have
More.
like 50.
No, that's what I was saying. PE is like
Yeah.
big numbers. Okay, so speech. Now, do you stick to that plan all the way through, or do you switch it up?
I stayed with that major when I was at Fresno State, and then I got my master's at Fresno Pacific in
The Sunbirds.
special education.
Yes.
Yeah. So, and then I got hired by Kings County Office of Education before I even graduated because there was a shortage of speech pathologists.
And so you were with the district. Now, as a speech pathologist, you're not assigned to a school, correct? You're at different
You
sites?
do get assigned to a school.
Oh, okay. What was your school?
Well, let me tell you though a little connection here.
Yeah.
You have to do clinical hours, so I volunteered to do my clinical hours there, hoping that they would hire me. And I did some of my clinical hours working at London and Traver.
You worked in London?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. For those who don't know, I'm from London, California, not England. There's no accent. It's in between. It's in the Tulare County area. It's between Dinuba and Kingsburg. And then Traver's our neighboring city. Wow, that's
Yeah.
wow. We go way back then.
So anyway, so I volunteered there, and then they hired me before I. So no interview or anything. They just asked me if I wanted to come work for them. I thought, wow.
So that's a crazy stat, and you've shared this with me off camera that for the most part, or maybe the whole time, there was never interviews. It was just identifying your strengths and then promoting.
Yeah. Yeah, I was really lucky that way because I am still pretty shy.
Well, interviews
and
are like
not,
auditions.
And not fond of interviews, and so I was lucky.
But you have to conduct them, right? As a
Yes.
superintendent.
Well, when you're in charge of them, it's a lot easier. You don't have to know the answers to anything.
Well, was the need that great that they didn't even go through that process, or was that normal?
Yeah, well, I think it's because they knew me already.
Wow.
I think it was the need, and they knew me already. Knew I was
So here's
safe.
here's the part I really want to share with our audience, because when you shared this off camera, it was very inspiring to me. When people look at your career, speech pathologist, and then was it vice principal next?
No.
What was your next move? Let's lay out the moves real quick so show them the timeline, and then I want to make a
Let me
point.
see if I can do it.
All right.
Okay, so it was speech pathologist, and then it was hearing impaired consultant because Kings County started to have a lot of hearing impaired students.
Yes.
And they were in regular classrooms, and they needed equipment, and they needed sign language interpreters, and they needed a lot of support in the classroom, and the teachers don't take any classes learning how to do that for their credential, and so they needed someone that could do that.
That's when you show up and we send you to the table with the headphones.
Yeah.
So you went from...
And so me having no experience in that area, they asked me, did I want to be the person to do
Hey,
that?
Debbie, can you figure this out? Right. And then, you know what I find kind of hinders people now, and it's a sad thing, but it's reality. You don't promote if you sit around waiting for the training, because it doesn't happen. They need someone who can step in and figure it out. So the people who are like, oh, I need to be trained, or as soon as I'm trained, they don't move, because you start to realize it's not going to exist. Me and you didn't get pulled into a podcast training, right?
No, but I think what's frustrating about that is you expect your admin or higher up people to notice that you're worthy of a promo, promotion,
Yeah.
you know, and so forth. So a lot of people just say, I've been here 20 years. I'm just going to wait it out and see if they notice all the hard work I'm doing. And unfortunately, people aren't proactive or intimidated or whatever it is. And unfortunately, I think a lot of people get put more on their plate because they're the yes man or woman, and then they get burned out.
So the few do the work of the many.
They're not promoted. They just get more crap on their plate that you'll have to do, and you're like,
yes, I will agree to that. If you work hard and they know they can count on you, then you can be their go-to person. The opposite, though, of what you were talking about, which to me is worse, is when you work somewhere for 20 years and you have an expectation that you should be promoted just because you've been there 20 years.
And not necessarily
and then they leave. Mm-hmm. Those are the ones that you want to keep, because then they leave and they're like, well, they never saw all the good things I've been doing, you know, or whatever.
Yeah.
I deserve more. You should, and then they leave.
But it's your job to make sure that they're paying attention to you because it's so good.
Oh, we have a lot of stuff we could talk about. But.
Well, the part I want to get to is, Debbie, you said that with all these promotions and moving up the ladder until you were the superintendent, which is the highest position for a district, at no point did you ever plan to be that, but you said that people were counting on you. Mm-hmm. And that is what really motivated you to take it on, even when you weren't feeling quite ready, or what were some of the apprehensions you had about these promotions?
Well, that's how I just kept moving along. So I was a speech pathologist, then I was hearing impaired consultant, then I became a program specialist. And a program specialist goes to all the schools in the county and helps with students with special needs in the classroom. So then it became not just the hearing impaired students, but the speech and language students, the behavioral students, the students with autism, all the students where teachers were struggling with them in the classroom. You know, because then there was a lot of new integration where the kids were taken out of their special day class with their special ed teacher and moved to regular ed classrooms, and those teachers needed support. So they asked me, did I want to do that? So then I did that for a while.
Sure.
Then Shelley Baird School was the county-operated program for students with severe special needs.
Yes.
And they asked me, did I want to go be the assistant principal there? And at the time I did, I thought this is a great opportunity because one of my best friends had just become the principal there.
Perfect.
And I thought I can learn admin and leadership from her because I think she's awesome. So I went there. Actually, I broke my ankle the weekend before I was supposed to start.
Playing basketball?
No. Going to the Kings River
floating? Were you floating?
fundraiser.
Oh, okay.
No, the Kings River School fundraiser.
Oh,
and just getting out of my car in the little lip of the road, getting out of my car, just tweaked, broke my ankle.
The
of course,
Calico?
I went to the Calico Art Festival.
I've got to go to that.
It's awesome.
It's the best marketing in entire Kings County.
Oh, yeah.
They have 17,000 signs.
Yeah.
Every corner, Jim. Every corner of Kings County has a Calico sign. I'm like, who's in charge of marketing? We need to hire him at RobLive.
Well, I'd been going to go for forever, and I'd never been. And I knew I broke my ankle, but I still went and went shopping and stuff. And then came back and drove myself to the hospital.
Man.
Anyway, so I broke my ankle that Saturday. So that Monday when I went, started my first day on crutches. And kept falling off the crutches. I said I was athletic, and I was, and still kind of am at my age. But I could not manipulate the crutches. So thank goodness it was a school for students with special needs. So I finished the day in a wheelchair because we had loaner wheelchairs there. Because I thought, I'm going to fall off the crutches and break my other ankle, and then I can't get around. So anyway.
They've got the little rolly ones now.
Yeah.
Those are cool.
Yeah. So I'm there. I'm going to learn from my friend who was there for 2 weeks before she got a promotion.
No.
Into the district
well, I mean, that's
office.
good, but...
And then guess what happens?
What happens?
Do you want to be the principal?
Wait, 2 weeks as the vice principal?
Uh-huh.
Wow.
No admin classes, right? When I went there, I thought, I'm going to learn from my friend. I can slowly take my admin classes. And as I can afford them, because I was a single mom.
Wow.
So I didn't have a lot of money to spend on classes and stuff. And then I was like, oh my gosh, do
And
I
how
want
many children? How many?
two?
Two. So I know Marissa,
And my son
who's now
Kyle
our city manager.
of Lemoore.
Yeah, congrats.
Yeah, thanks.
And then your son,
My son is a cybersecurity guy
Is he here-
for the
is he in Lemoore
IRS.
as well?
No, he's in Berkeley.
Berkeley.
He's at Berkeley. Lives in
What's his
Berkeley.
name?
Kyle.
I don't think I've met Kyle. Does he come around sometimes?
Not very often.
Okay.
There's a lot to do in the Bay Area. That's way more fun than things to do in Lemoore. So he
You
doesn't
get to
come
see
home
mom
too
though.
often.
Gotta
Yeah.
see mom. Okay, so back to the story. You are now the principal.
So now I become the principal. And I have to take admin classes. So I have to go at it because you can't have an admin position unless you have your admin credentials. So they gave me a limited amount of time to get it finished up. So yeah,
What-
so things just kept.
Yeah.
So then I was there for 3 years. I started a new program for the students with autism because I realized that there were a lot of really intelligent students in the classes with very developmentally disabled students.
Yeah.
They were in the same classroom, and so the curriculum it was too hard to bring those
Two extremes.
more able students
Yeah.
to higher levels and support the students who had more severe physical needs that had autism. And so I started a new program. It was called Teach. And we were next door to Lee Richmond School, and I started integrating those students into regular classrooms because I thought one advantage for them is to model better behavior because they were modeling the behavior of the severely disabled
I
students.
see. Yeah.
But they could copy the behavior of more model students, and so I was integrating them into Lee Richmond School, and then putting them on some satellite campuses, some other schools out in other districts, and integrating them into regular classrooms, allowing them to go to their neighborhood schools.
I'm always impressed by leaders who are able to recognize a need or see a challenge and then actually successfully implement a plan. Like, where's that vision come from?
Yeah.
It's creativity, right? You're a creator of
Yeah.
space, and then things happen. So now you're principal, and then how do you take the next step?
So then Lemoore High School had a program there where they had some of our students from our program on their campus. And they wanted someone to come over and run it for them and then help them with discipline of the other students on the campus. So they asked me to come over.
What year is this?
When did I go over? I went over in 98, so it probably would have been 95.
So 95. You're now the vice principal?
I'm the principal at Shelley Baird
Baird.
School, and Lemoore High's asking me to come over and be an assistant principal.
And you say,
No.
oh, really? Everything seemed
And
like a yes.
I
up
wanted
until
to
now.
be there,
Yeah.
but I had just started getting those students with autism out. And I thought, if I leave, who's going to continue that for these kids? Like,
Yeah.
is the program going to go away? And I couldn't do it. I felt like I was going to let them down. So 2 more years later, Lemoore High asked me to come over again. And again, I'm a single parent. My daughter is going to be a junior at Lemoore High School, and my son is going to start high school. I'm in another town while they're in Lemoore, going to school, and I'm thinking as a mom, it's a really good move.
Yeah.
But what about these kids? So I worked really hard to make sure that, okay, if I leave, who are you going to hire?
Did you get to be part of that process?
What are you going to do?
Of picking the next person?
I got my say in. Wasn't like part of the hiring process or anything.
Did they
but
pick the person that?
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah. So then I was more comfortable
Yeah.
going, even though I spent the whole summer with my daughter saying, I'm not going to any high school where my mom is an administrator. Because that was the end of the world
that is a
for
tough
her.
gig.
Oh my gosh.
Because you have to discipline, you have to sometimes you have to make the unpopular decision, right? Mm-hmm. And then everyone's talking about Mrs. MURO, and I've got to hear about my mom. I mean, it's a tough gig.
So she was terrified of that until school starts.
Yeah.
And she realizes, I have car keys where she could leave campus at lunch and go to lunch. And when she forgets her lunch money, I have lunch money. So then I become this big advantage.
Yeah.
And all of her friends and other kids, when they're walking with her, they come running up and give me a big hug and all that stuff. And she realizes that all the stuff that she was worried about, you know, like I didn't show up with a big hammer and start bonking all the kids on the head because I was
it works in the right
doing
situation.
discipline. Yeah.
Jim is a teacher on a campus where he's had 2 daughters. And for the most part, it's been pretty good, right?
You know, and 2 girls. One graduated. She was my ASB vice president in leadership. And I think that really helped a lot. And then I think my youngest, who she kind of threw a wrench at me saying, you did all this stuff with McKinley. You know, what are we going to do now that she's gone? And she doesn't want ASB.
Tennis coach.
So she's like, will you be our tennis coach? And so now I'm like the girls' tennis coach. So
awesome.
Shout out to Jim.
Yeah, it's cool.
Doing what he needs to do.
She's a horrible critic, though. She's like, you're the worst coach I've ever had in my life.
Yeah, your kids are your worst critics, that's for sure.
But I do think it says a lot, though, to some families that, you know, have kids that struggle and stuff, that it really, you got to support them all the way through. You got to be there for them, help them all the way through, because it could go either way. I mean, we both have different kids that were you know, struggling, trying to get one to graduate, trying to get the other one who's flying colors, and you're just kind of like, you know, you kind of sit back and, you know, my dad used to always say, you're going to fall. You're always going to fall. You need to learn how to get up. You know, we can't help you all the time. And so you just kind of, but you don't want to, you know, I always say you got to
take out the training wheels.
Yeah, and the umbilical cord's been cut. You know, you're on your own.
Yeah, and it's always so amazing to me where you have 2, 3 kids. You raise them in the same house. You treat them the same. You raise them the same.
100%.
They're so different. They're so different. You're like, how can you be so different?
How they interpret things, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
my son went to Lemoore High School for 4 years while I was working there, and he's terribly shy. Was so embarrassed while he was growing up because I'd say, oh, this is my son, Kyle. He'd look at them.
Oh, just blank.
They'd say, hi, Kyle, how are you? Nothing. I mean, he was like terrified of people. So he would never talk to me in school. So one day, he was a senior, and he and I were walking along the sidewalk outside of class, right? So it wasn't between classes, it was during class, along the sidewalk. And I'm thinking, this is the time. He's finally going to say hi to me. And we walk. Nothing. Nothing. Didn't look up.
No eye contact.
He knew I was coming. Didn't say hi, anything. So the whole 4 years.
Was he with anyone? Was anyone
he was
around
by
him?
himself.
Oh, okay.
We were outside. Nobody would have known. He said hi. Could have been our little secret.
No witnesses.
No fist bump, nothing.
Nope.
Did you bring it up to him?
Yeah.
Like, hey, Kyle, did you see me?
And he said nothing. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So he was not I don't know. He didn't seem to be upset that I was there, you know, or anything.
Yeah. It was just...
He didn't have any problems with other kids because I was there or anything, but he just did not want to acknowledge my existence.
And your daughter's like, give me the car keys, Mom. Oh.
Yeah,
so,
one day she called me and she said, Mom, you have to take me home. You have to take me home. I thought something was really the matter. I said, what's the matter? She said, it's lunchtime. None of my friends are here.
Oh, there you go.
Like, yeah, that's not going to happen.
Can't eat on your own. I mean, that would be the ultimate social.
I would get the I forgot my paper or I forgot this, and I'm like, that's your fault. You know, why do I have to leave school to go
make
do
it
that?
my problem?
Yeah. Dad, can you stop class? I need my tennis racket. Wow. Okay, so now you transitioned to the district office at some point.
Mm-hmm. So I was the assistant principal, and I did a lot of discipline, which I'm kind of weird. I loved it.
Oh.
I loved it because kids don't come to school wanting to be bad. You know, there's something going on with them. And what I saw, which I think happens in a lot of places, is that you only have time to do the punishment, to suspend them, to, do whatever you have to kick them out of class, send them to detention, do the things that you have to do. And I really enjoyed the counseling part of it. Okay, tell me what happened. Because kids don't come to school thinking I'm going to fight the first kid that bumps into me in the hallway. When you talk to them, it's that they were up all night because their parents were partying in the house so loud that they didn't get any sleep. Or they got up this morning and there was no food in the house for breakfast and they're hungry. And so the kid that bumps into them in the hall that they got in the fight with has nothing. They don't have a beef with each other. That's not even a thing. There's something else going on. And unless you deal with those kinds of things with kids, that's just going to keep happening. That kid's going to end up getting expelled from school when there are things that you can do to, help them out and have school be a safe place. So I loved doing discipline. I didn't always love dealing with the parents. The parents were the hard part. The parents that their kids can do no wrong and they didn't really do what you said they did, even though you can show them the videotape of it. They're still, no, I didn't do that. It's not my, must have edited the tape.
Was it me?
Yeah.
I want to fast forward to something that really caught my attention, and I wanted to just recognize you for that. I don't remember where I was, but I was looking through the timelines and accolades of different people at Lemoore High School. And there's a Hall of Fame. You're in the Lemoore High School Hall of Fame. Did you ever imagine that it would get to this, where you are a Hall of Famer?
And I don't think I should be in the Hall of Fame.
Oh, I would disagree with that.
Did my job like I was supposed to.
No, but you did it different.
Yeah.
You did it different because when I've never heard anyone say, I loved being the disciplinarian on campus. I've never heard it. I know people do it and they do it well, but I've never seen anyone actually look forward to that and identify the root, right? It's a very restorative approach.
My grandkids, we'd be in the mall and a kid would walk up and go, "Hey, Mom, that's Miss Miro that used to get me in trouble all the time." And they'd come up and give me a hug or whatever, and I'd walk away, and my grandkids would go, "Did you that kid got suspended and that kid got in trouble?" And I'd go, "Yeah," and they'd always ask me this. Then why did they like you?
Well, I want to make sure that we get this out there before we wrap up this episode, because I created these stones. And hopefully the camera can see them. They have little messages on them, like hope, peace, joy, and life. And these stones represent the ripple effect that you have created within your world. We all approach our own area as a still pond, and we drop that stone into the water, and it creates a ripple effect that just continues to go for years. And I'm sure that you have affected a lot of students in the very way that you just described, because I feel like you approached everything with love. So here is your official RobLive message stone. Continue to toss those stones in all the areas that you work in. I really want to bring you back. I know it's quite a drive to Fresno, but I appreciate you coming. But I want to bring you back because I feel like there's another part to this that we really need to explore. Would you be willing to come back on the show?
Sure.
And I asked her on camera because I wanted to put the heat on her. Hey, you guys.
Because these aren't my favorite things to do. I'm so shy.
She said yes. She said yes, Jim. Well, until next time, this was the Debbie Miro episode, part 1. Part 2 to come, to be continued. Continue to share the love. And you still do things in the community. I've seen you, and I've come to you. Shoot, okay, I'm going to go ahead and out her because she will never say. Whenever I need help, sometimes it's financial, sometimes it's guidance. You were one of the leaders that I've talked to, and you know this. I've texted you privately and like, what do I do here? And how do I work this out? And you've never once denied me. So I appreciate that. Thank you for being in my life.
Well, you do lots of good things, so you're easy to support.
Thank you. Thank you. So that's it for this episode here with Mrs. Debbie Miro of Lemoore, Hall of Famer. If you guys enjoyed what she shared, if you enjoyed some insight, if you learned from this episode, please like, subscribe, share with your family and friends. We're hoping this is an episode everyone can benefit from in terms of leadership and guidance and moving forward with love. Until next time, this is RobLive with James Chance in the studio, my partner, Faux Life, Bad Boys for Life, Jim.
Yeah.
And Debbie Miro, thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you.
Until next time, it's love, peace, and chicken grease. We out.